Islam Dwayne Bafide. It is November the 21st, 2019. I am at Whole Foods in Annapolis, Maryland. I work today. I'm going to try not to make this a long video. There is someone, a pale skin, behind me talking. He is not included in the video. Usually now when I come in here, usually a pale skin might be walking around with a cell phone and talking loud. So, and like also hear them speak about their President Trump. And you notice I say their President Trump. So, so that has a lot to do with it. A lot of times this is when I come here to study or to do just a simple video. I look behind me, a pale skin is walking around with a cell phone talking loud. So I don't know, and I hear sometimes they speak of their President Trump. Okay, so anyway, as I'm continuing to go ahead and speak about some of the things I experienced before I take this 2-week absence from the Twitter, because I'm maintaining a balanced mind as much as possible. And I just wanted to say that about the pale skin because he's not included in the video and he's talking really loud. Sometimes I have to lower my voice. So I wanted to tell you some of the things that I'm going to be doing. The first thing I'm going to be doing, Dwayne Bafide, is with Imani in this 2 weeks, is I'm going to try to, maintain mental balance. Because someone that with meditation, breathing, deep breathing, stretching with Imani-Bey, Arrington-Bey, and exercising and studying. I'm maintaining a vegan vegetarian diet. We have never, like for instance, just a few moments ago, we still were not perfect. I stopped by the free food place and to get some energy because we go all day without eating. I said I hadn't eaten out at a restaurant in over 2 years in my last week, but literally it's over 3 years, approximately over 3 years since Imani-Bey and Arrington-Bey ate at a restaurant. We usually prepare our own food because we like to put our energy in our food, our own energy in our food. But sometimes we get snacks like this, and I just got this so I can have some energy. And this is like a potato chip, and this is like a fruit grain bar. So, and I get this at the free pantry. So these are some of the things we're going to be doing. We juice a lot, and I notice that I'm really gassy sometimes. So that because actually my digestive system is just flowing. Imani too, but not like mine's. But mine's is really flowing. Because we juice a lot of fruits, but now we're incorporating raw vegetables such as zucchini, cucumber, kale, spinach, carrots. We're using the moringa powder, chlorophyll. We have that at American Extended Stay at the room we're in. All this is in our refrigerator. So these are the things we do in the mornings before we go to earn money at he goes to earn money at Wendy's and I go to earn money at Burger King. And once again, it's probably been over 3 years since we actually sat down and ate or had something from a restaurant. And I think the last time I tried to buy some was a veggie burger, but it didn't, the veggie burger from Burger King, but it didn't, because when I first started working at Burger King, I used to I never ate chicken or anything like that, but I was eating fish for the first 6 months in Annapolis, and I tried the fish sandwich, and I thought it was good, and the veggie burger, and then I let fish go. Imani and I stepped away from fish completely, and then we gradually weaned ourselves off of things, and we started cooking and preparing our food constantly. So it's probably, I think the last time approximately I ate or was going to, or purchase something. I didn't even eat it. It was a veggie burger, and that was like 3.5 years ago. And it has nothing to do with Burger King or any restaurant. It's just we like to, as Moorish Americans, in reference to spirituality and energy, and connecting the dots through your podcast, not just with your podcast, but listening to other Moorish speak as well, Moorish Americans. We see and value energy and thoughts and what we put in our food and how we consume it. And so if it matters, it truly does matter where you at and when you're consuming food. So if you're in a hostile environment where someone is being spiritually raped or molested, and you can see what's going on, and you consuming your food, and you see her genitals or his genitals or the children's genitals being molested, their anus being molested, they can, whatever is happening that is in a savage or animal behavior, it does correlates to energy, and that energy you are eating. So if you're dealing with demonic spirits who are in a ritualistic behavior where they do rituals such as this, it won't matter. It doesn't matter. But when you are trying to live your life civilized and trying to raise your thoughts in a righteous manner, it would matter. And so that's one of the reasons why, I don't know, I'm not saying, I connect dots with energy. Connecting the dots with the energy of food. So we prepare our own food. That's one of the reasons out of many. We put our own energy in our food as we eat. So it's probably been over 3 years since we eaten out, or besides eating stuff like this, which so we're not perfect, but we are getting there. It's been so fish was the last meat substance we let go. That was in 2016. So, was it 2016? Yeah, that was in 2016. So, and I feel a difference. My thought process is higher, and for some reason I think of nonviolence. Now, nonviolence does not mean that I sit back and allow somebody to attack me or rape me. But nonviolence means, according to our Holy Quran of Mecca, it states that we should never be aggressors. That means we should never be aggressors in trying to commit harm, but we are supposed to be able to protect ourselves as much as we can. And that's what our Holy Quran states of Mecca. So, and that's the state of mind we're in. And I learned that and read that in the video that was in Subordinate 1 Temple in New York. The video that states what's the difference between the Hadith and the Quran, and the Grand Sheikh was pointing out irregularities and falsities that the Hadiths were speaking of in correlation to Quran. And as I was looking up and doing my own research of what he was saying, I saw that verse about us not being aggressors, and that connects to Prophet Noble Drew Ali stating how we are supposed to demonstrate true Islam by not causing harm through our thoughts, words, and deeds. And it takes time. It's not easy when you're being attacked spiritually. You know you're among spirits that are savage and demonic, sending sharp pains forcefully, sitting around your room like animals. Like a beast, waiting for you to sleep, using the different sciences that only someone possibly like the United States military or some form of military science of that type of science should be used upon an enemy outside of these I should say an enemy outside the Constitution, a foe that's not trying to uphold the Constitution or be a true American citizen. Okay, so that is my connection. Because definitely, if I'm trying to sleep, and you have spirits invading my dream, they're attacking my son, Imani Great Arrington-Bey, as he sleep. Like they're trying to give him an orgasm. He has to wake up in the middle of the night. Like they're trying to give him an orgasm so they could say the number 3. We got it. That's a very savage and animalistic behavior. And that is definitely outside of natural law and outside of what we are taught as Moorish Americans. So knowing that we are among beasts of some sort in thoughts, state of mind, and behavior, it's not easy to not want to, but you have to. And so when I say thank you Allah for extermination of all unclean demonic spirits, I mean it, but I don't feel guilty about it, because I know this is happening through natural law. So I'll leave it at that. And another thing I wanted to tell you about is today at Burger King, I was interested because I'm earning money at Burger King, and this guy, a new guy, he's working there, he's from Senegal, West Africa, the same place where Arrington-Bey is from. And he looks young, and I thought he might have been from Senegal. When I went to pick up my check last Wednesday, I noticed him, and I said, and so today he came in around 3 p.m. and today is once again November 20th, 2019. Well, the 21st. I think the day is the 21st, 2019. And I said, hi. I said, are you from Senegal? He said, yes. I didn't tell him anything about me besides, I said, he said Senegal is the capital. Dakar is the capital of Senegal. I said, oh yeah, I know. I've been around Senegalese for many years in my life. And I was like, okay. And I said, I didn't know you. I said, what's your name? He told me his name was Musa. And that was it. I didn't tell him about a bass. I didn't speak to him. I asked him about the languages he spoke. He said he spoke Arabic, French, some Arabic and French. And then, of course, he speaks English. So this goes back to some of the things I was experiencing. It was great to have that conversation with him. But I thought about how so many times when I'm documenting some odd behavior from those that possibly, I don't know if they've taken an oath or affirm that represent the United States Navy and Army or the military. I don't know if they have taken an oath or affirm to uphold these the Constitution of 1787, Abraham Lincoln's Proclamation of the 13th Amendment, 20 sections. But it made me think about how I've noticed a lot of odd behavior, even at American Extended Stay, hearing, especially with my genitals being attacked in a spiritual manner, in a sexual manner, my dreams, and then unclean spirits saying he F-U-C-K-U, like there's some law about if a woman is spiritually raped or her child is spiritually raped, then all that makes it okay. Like there's some type of rule. It's okay for a spirit to stalk, unclean spirit to stalk. This is what some of these unclean spirits say while I'm outside of my room, when I'm outside and about. And once again, it made me think about how many times when I document some of the odd behaviors that I notice when I'm out, and as I am with Imani Gray Bey and Rhonda Arrington-Bey, we are waiting to amend our birth certificate, and that's naturalization. So we're waiting to do this, and we already corrected our status through the Social Security office, through the DMV, and now we're waiting to amend our birth certificate that states that our race is Asiatic, not Negro or African American or Black, because those are not true terms in reference to race. So, and you have to be in the constitutional fold and be recognized by the human family. That's a part of naturalization. Okay, Negro, Black, and African American is not a nationality, and so if that's not a nationality, why is that on some of the birth certificates? That's not a true term. Black is a color. African American, what is that? What is African American? So according to constitutional law, I'm asking. So because we have taken an oath and affirmed to uphold constitutional law, and I see that there's a lot of odd behavior in reference to the United States Navy and Army, especially in dealing with spiritual attacks and mental attacks. And these odd behaviors demonstrate possibly they're not in the constitutional fold. Because if they were in the constitutional fold, then they would be doing everything they can to demonstrate themselves as protectorate and not aggressors. Not something that's going against, not aggressors or being aggressive, but being protectorate of the inhabitants of the land, of this landmass, especially those who are in the process of true naturalization. But so I noticed when I document some odd behavior, all of a sudden the word Al Qaeda, like the terrorist Arabic group, would come up. Al Qaeda would come up in my tablet. Like, you know, when you know, your keyboard is set a certain amount of way. You know, we're among spirits that can control bodies. They look human, that can control technology. So I would say I press A to write Apple. All of a sudden the word Al Qaeda will come up, or advertisement about Muslim or Islam will come up. So anytime when I start documenting about some of the odd behaviors that I've experienced in Annapolis since I've been here, in reference to those who imply or are connected to the United States Navy, Army, and other military branches, these things will appear. Imani Gray-Bey and I run the Arrington-Bey. We have never, ever attended a mosque, a Catholicism, or a church. And or so I noticed this, so this truly doesn't make sense, but we are Moorish Americans. We claim our nationality. And one of the things we asked for in the revisory of our petition of our name change, because they did not put, the judge did not put our race, even though we handed him with our petition the documents from Moorish Science Temple of America stating that our race was Asiatic, stating our nationality being Moorish American, and our political status being white, and the federal codes that went along with it. But they still didn't do it, and so maybe I thought possibly there was some type of confusion. But getting back, but I noticed when I document certain things in reference to the odd behavior that seems to be aggressive, acts of terrorism in so many ways, especially when you know that you're among spirits that have the science of telepathy. Now, I don't know if they claim a nationality or not. I mean, not a nationality, or they have taken an oath or affirm to uphold the Constitution. But when I document these things, this is when I notice these advertisements will come up about Arab and Islam, and or something in reference to Al Qaeda, something dealing with an aggressive group that's 9 times out of 10 that's not dealing with true law and respectful law. Is a law that's dealing that promotes stability, which promotes love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and all the things the preamble spoke about in the Constitution, that represents Abraham Lincoln's proclamations, the 13th Amendment, 20 sections. So these Islamic groups do not connect to us. We don't know anyone here still in Annapolis personally. So it's so odd, because like I said, outside and around the room when we were sleeping, so many times we were experiencing spiritual attacks. And then the word, I hear them say Navy strong, Navy, outside and around the room, as my genitals are being attacked. Navy strong, or Army strong, or brother, we paid, I love you. It's odd, and you know we are among a community, or not. This is not the only one that have the science of telepathy. So obviously, this science that should be used to help protect and also uplift is being used to abuse, and it's been used to abuse for a long time. We just didn't know it. We had no idea. It's been used for probably over 70 years, 80 years. We had no idea. So I'm going to continue with that, and there was something else I wanted to tell you in these 2 weeks. So once again, 2 weeks, I'm going to remain quiet because I will be meditating as your wife, Bey, meditating and maintaining my status as your wife. But I feel like I need to do this. I need to do this because I can't fall upon something just telling me to take time off and just look at your tweets, but maintain my status, my virtue as your wife, and don't have fear, because I'm standing on truth. My spirit is telling me, because I'm standing on truth as your wife, and I'm standing on truth, who I am with Arrington-Bey, I shouldn't be fearful. And it's not because I'm your wife. It's because I'm standing on righteousness. So I'm gonna just, yeah, because of righteousness. So I'm gonna leave it at that. In that connects to Prophet Noble Drew Lee's teachings of trying our best to not cause harm. True followers of Islam do not cause harm through thoughts, words, or deeds. And in that, that's a form of civilization. Civilization, and you are demonstrating you are civilized and not a savage. And so when you are among those who are possibly mixed with ape, dog, or some other experiments, and other spirits are in them, then that's possibly why we have such a degree of animal behavior. And that's exactly what we are among. And it's not just here in Annapolis, but it's all over. The United States rate 35 in health. So getting back, so I only brought up the guy Musa at Burger King's because I thought it was important for me to state, because I keep everything business and as much as I can. I joke around a little bit, but not too personal with my coworkers or the managers. I think it's important to do that because it maintains boundaries and respect. And he's from Senegal. That's where my son Arrington-Bey is from. And he just started working there 2 weeks ago. And I don't know if he has been naturalized. I don't know. Senegal is a predominantly 99%, I would say, Islamic country where they speak Islam. So I don't know if he's been naturalized. I don't know anything about him. I'm not saying he would be mean or a terrorist or anything. I'm not saying that about him, but I'm just saying, just like everyone else at Burger King, I keep my distance. And that's pretty much all I really have to say, as in like conversation. Just today, it's the first time I worked with him, so it's just like, hi, I introduced myself, he introduced himself, and just had a small chit chat. He told me where he's from, he told me his language. I said that I was around Senegalese for many years. That's it. I didn't tell him anything about my life, my child, Arrington-Bey, or his father, Musabe. So also I noticed those that a lot of times in reference to acts of terrorism spiritually, those that follow the so-called, if they call themselves Christian, they might start, people start walking around saying going to church. Sometimes Jesus, using the word Jesus a lot. So I noticed spirits do that quite a bit, especially if I was attacked in the middle of the night, or Imani was attacked in the middle of the night, because we're among a telepathic community. So being among a telepathic community, many people, you have those that are able to tune in and they can see what's going on inside the room. I told you how some of them were saying that there was a camera, like we're watching her, watching them in the room. Like they were implying like there's some form of a camera inside our room at Arrington Stay. Now, how sick is that? So if you are saying paid all the time, you are promoting bondage, rape, and molestation. You see a woman dress and undress. You see her son dress and undress, Moorish Americans, and they don't have anything to do with you personally, because we don't know anyone here personally. And then you keep saying paid, and you're stalking the room. And after a while, when you realize that it doesn't work, whether you're trying to molest them at night, whatever, and then you try to approach them on the physical plane, that can cause a person, an animal, because that's exactly what it is, to behave even more animalistic and to behave odd, and they can't explain their behavior. Islam. So for instance, if someone is stalking and they're zooming in, okay. Let me get back to, before I finish that, that thought process. So I noticed after, like if we had a night of sleeping and we're being attacked spiritually, mentally, where we have to sleep light, I can go out and all of a sudden the pale skin, and that look to be Spanish, walk around speaking about Jesus, especially the pale skin, that definitely are unclean spirits talk about Jesus. And then the black Negroes start speaking about going to church. These are unclean spirits, not all, because unclean spirits are everywhere. And then the Mexicans are walking around, or Spanish, not all Mexicans. I don't want to say not all Mexicans, but Spanish speaking, these are unclean spirits. Or they could be from El Salvador or South America. They don't have to be from Mexico, but these are Spanish speaking. They could be from Puerto Rico, who knows? Are aggressive, or they walking around with a cross around their neck. So this is all psychological warfare, where these spirits are being used to try to promote fear, and then through body language and induce thoughts. If you're not aware, try to encourage a form of religion which would denaturalize us as Moorish Americans, because that is so. If you are not following your true religion as a Moorish American and demonstrating who you are, and that is in connection to our Bill of Rights, Amendment 1, the 13th Amendment with 20 Section 1, and you go outside of that, okay, you are denaturalizing yourself, and you are absorbing that energy, which is an energy that's going against your covenant with Allah. And so that's exactly what is trying to be performed. So getting back, so if you have spirits all the time saying paid, Dwayne Bey paid, and they're stalking, these are unclean spirits. When they realize it's not working, whether they're trying to manipulate your thoughts, your dreams, because I think I possibly have been attacked maybe 4 times in 3.5 years being here in Annapolis, and each time where a black Negro or someone that looked Spanish was trying to attack, have sex with me, I woke up within 5 seconds, maybe 6 or 7 seconds. And then that's when I noticed the spirits were walking around unclean, like savage, P-F-U-C-K, P-F-U-C-K. So what does that do? So what they're trying to do is promote rape of a natural divine being, natural, something that's not like them. So they're like, we're going to rape this natural being, because it's like they have collaborated among themselves to try to rape this natural being and my child, Imani Ray, and try to see which one can rape first, or which one can have sex with the spirit, sex with this natural divine being first. And so that's exactly what has been attempted to happen. So if you have a spirit stalking, and after a while all the techniques, all the abuse doesn't work, then you might see, I noticed, possibly you might see odd behavior on a physical plane, because that's psychology. Because they've been stalking and doing things, and in their minds they've been said that we paid when they didn't pay nobody. So they thinking they paid the rape, they paid the murder, all this time. So they thinking like an animal. And then when they cannot do what they want to do, okay, then it comes out in different other behavior, like behaving odd, not able to explain their behavior, being aggressive, violent, sarcastic, unlawful, illegal, because they've been stalking, and in their animal state of mind, thinking they keep saying pay, like they trying to get themselves to believe like they did, and they didn't pay nobody. Okay, an animal, a slave, cannot own nobody, but they can be used as slave, an animal, a savage, a beast, can be used to perform acts of terrorism, and that's what's happening, being used to perform acts of terrorism, spiritually and mentally, and if they can, physically. If it's allowed, if they can get away with it, they would try. So that's what's going on, Dwayne. So in this 2 weeks, Islam, I'm going to be just relaxing my mind and meditating with Imani Gray. I upload many videos, and but I'm going to wait and upload my videos afterwards. Okay? I'll talk to you later, Islam. And trust this, I'm praying and meditating on us, because the reason why I stopped this now, because I know this is at 30 minutes and I said I was only going to do this for a few moments, maybe about 15 minutes. Oh, and this is also, let me finish this last thing. I was listening to re-listening to a video of when I was talking about the Martin Luther King riots. And at the end of the video, I noticed one of the regular customers were actually addressing another regular at the table. He drives a truck that has Army, and a lot of them that sit there either represent or apply to be connected to the Army or in the Navy or the Marines. And he started addressing them as more. He was like Mo, like more, like you hear on the conference call. I've heard him do this before, or use the word more or Mo before, but this is the first time I actually had it on video. And he was talking to the guy that it seemed like he was talking to the guy that's in the Army. And I was like, okay, this is definitely odd, because I have never seen a war come into Burger King in 3.5 years. Never ever, not one more I have seen that's a part of our same tribe, our same state. I should say our same culture, our same state of mind. Never in 3.5 years coming to Burger King. Our same genealogy, or in our genealogy as a more. As in that, when I say genealogy, let me use a different word. State of mind, same state of mind, that has been naturalized, been recognized that they are not a beast or an animal, that have been recognized that they are in the constitutional fold. And I'm not saying those who are not in the constitutional fold are beast and animal. I'm just saying I have never seen anyone that come into Burger King representing themselves as a Moorish American. Never. I'm just being in our state of mind as in MU''UR. Never. So I thought it was interesting to hear him say that, because I've heard him say it a lot of times. But that was the first time I got it on video. And at this moment, we are in the process of amending our birth certificate. We requested for the motion of advisory done on the petition. And once again, I'm not saying that those who are not in the constitutional fold are beast or animal. I'm just stating that our studies in Moorish American National Republic is definitely stated and encouraged that we are naturalized and claiming nationality, and we are returning back to Islamism and demonstrating our culture, our tribe once known. So I've never seen anybody that come into, and also our state of mind, and who we are, our essence, our consciousness. Never. Okay. I told you the people that usually come into Burger King are African American, or look like they're African American. Black or Negro, or they haven't claimed a nationality. I don't know. Pale skin, the United States Navy or Army, and those that speak Spanish. They could be from El Salvador, Mexico, South America, Puerto Rico. I don't know. But those are the major groups, and some from India. But those are the major groups that come in there. I would say pale skin, African American, and Spanish speaking. So I was surprised to see that, especially when I'm in the process with Imani Gray-Bey of true naturalization, and we petitioned the courts here for a revisory of our petition of name change. And so we're going to have to go through this slowly with the courts to see what's going on with that. I'm going to connect. I'm going to call the National Grand Chief eventually, but I'm going to do my research and I'm going to let them know what happened. Okay, it's long. Okay, and it's going to be because one of the things I want to tell you, I received a letter saying the petition for revisory for our race to be on the petition. I was sent a letter. It said denied, but it didn't say why it was denied. Imani was sent the letter. So yeah, it said denied, but it didn't say why it was sent denied. I didn't have anything in my letter stating why it was denied. So I'm going to definitely call and see why it did. What law they derived this from the Constitution for them to deny what was asked for to be done.